Have you ever checked your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? You start with a paycheck that feels pretty decent, and by the end of the month, you're scrambling to make it last. Sound familiar? What if I told you there's a simple system that can put you back in control of your finances? One that not only tracks your spending, but also reshapes your relationship with money. That system is the cash envelope method, and in today's video, I'll share how it completely transformed my spending habits and how it can do the same for you. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to take charge of your financial future and feel more empowered than ever. Hi everyone! Welcome back to your trusted source for all things self-development, personal finance, and intentional living. Today, I'm diving into a personal topic, my experience with the cash envelope system. This simple yet powerful strategy gave me clarity over my spending, helped me save more than I ever thought possible, and introduced me to a sense of financial peace that I hadn't experienced before. So, whether you're looking to save more, break free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, or just get a handle on your budget, stick with me. I've got plenty of practical tips and insights that will help you get started with this life-changing method. The cash envelope system is simple by design, but don't let that fool you. Its impact is profound. Here's the basic premise. You create envelopes for each of your budget categories: groceries, entertainment, transportation, dining out, and you physically place cash in those envelopes. Once the cash is gone, you stop spending in that category until the next month. Why does this work so well? It's all about the power of physical cash. Studies have shown that we tend to spend more when using credit or debit cards because swiping a card doesn't trigger the same emotional response as physically handing over cash. When you actually feel the cash leaving your hands, you become much more conscious of each transaction. It's a psychological shift. You're far more likely to question, "Do I really need this?" when you see those dollar bills leaving your envelope. I'll never forget the first time I used the envelope system. It was a trip to the grocery store. With only my grocery envelope in hand, I became incredibly intentional about what I was putting in my cart. I ended up spending less than I usually would, not because I forced myself to, but because I was aware of the limit I had set for myself. One of the greatest advantages of the cash envelope system is that it makes your spending visible. Each envelope represents a category of your budget, and you can literally see how much money you have left at any given moment. This visibility was a game changer for me. Let's say you allocate $100 for dining out. Halfway through the month, you open your dining out envelope and realize you've already spent $70. That's when it hits you. Do you really want to spend that last $30 on another takeout meal, or can you stretch it out for something more meaningful later on? This simple visual feedback helped me break the habit of impulsive spending. When you swipe a card, it's easy to lose track of how much you've spent. But when you physically open an envelope and see the dwindling cash, it forces you to reassess your priorities. I began to ask myself, do I value this expense enough to spend my remaining cash on it? Most of the time, the answer was no. One of the most surprising things about the cash envelope system is how it holds you accountable. With credit cards, there's a sense of detachment from your spending. It's easy to tell yourself that you'll pay it off later. But when you're dealing with cash, the consequences of overspending are immediate. If you overspend in one category, you have to make up for it somewhere else. For instance, if I spent more on groceries than I had planned, I had to either borrow money from my entertainment envelope or go without something else. This real-time accountability forced me to be more disciplined and thoughtful with my spending choices. And here's the thing. That discipline started to bleed into other areas of my life. I became more mindful, not just about my finances, but also about my time and energy. It was like a ripple effect. Once I became intentional with my money, I started becoming intentional with everything else. By the way, if you've ever tried budgeting, whether through the cash envelope system or another method, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences and what's worked for you. Sharing tips and learning from each other is what this community is all about. So drop a comment and let's keep this conversation going. One of the best lessons I've learned from the cash envelope system is the importance of trade-offs. When you have a limited amount of cash in each envelope, you're forced to make decisions about what's truly important to you. Here's a quick example. I love going out to eat with friends, but after a few months of using the cash envelope system, I realized that dining out was eating up a huge chunk of my budget. No pun intended. I had two choices. I could continue spending on restaurants and cut back on other things, or I could find more cost-effective ways to spend time with friends, like hosting potluck dinners at home. I chose the latter, and not only did I save money, but I also deepened my relationships through more meaningful and personal experiences. That's the beauty of the cash envelope system. It teaches you to prioritize. When every dollar has a purpose, you start making choices that align with your values. Whether that's investing in experiences, paying down debt, or saving for something bigger, the envelope system helps you make intentional decisions instead of letting money slip through your fingers. Before I started using this system, I was stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. I'd get paid, feel flush with cash, and then, by the end of the month, I was barely scraping by. But once I started using cash envelopes, everything changed. Instead of spending freely as soon as I got my paycheck, I began assigning every dollar a job. I'd sit down at the beginning of the month, decide how much cash went into each envelope, and commit to living within those limits. This shift in mindset, from reactive to proactive, completely transformed my financial situation. No longer was I scrambling at the end of the month. The cash envelope system gave me the tools to plan ahead, anticipate my needs, and break free from that constant cycle of financial stress. It felt empowering to know that I was in control, not my paycheck. Wondering, is the cash envelope system outdated in today's digital world? While it's true that more of our financial transactions are happening online, you can still adapt the principles of the cash envelope system to fit a modern lifestyle. For example, I personally use cash for variable expenses like groceries, dining out, and entertainment, anything where I might be tempted to overspend. For fixed expenses like rent, utilities, or subscriptions, I track those digitally, but still keep a record of how much I'm allocating toward them. There are also apps out there that let you replicate the envelope system in a digital format. So if you're someone who prefers to use cards, but still wants the structure of the envelope method, you can easily find a hybrid solution that works for you. The key is to stick to the principles. Allocate your money ahead of time, track your spending, and stay within your limits. The cash envelope system isn't just about managing your money. It's about changing the way you think about spending. It's about giving each dollar a job and aligning your finances with your values. It's about creating a sense of control, accountability, and intentionality in your financial life. For me, this system was a total game changer. It broke my bad spending habits, helped me save more, and most importantly, gave me peace of mind. If you're looking for a way to regain control of your finances, I highly encourage you to give this method a try. Start small, maybe just with groceries or dining out, and build from there. Trust me, once you start seeing the results, you won't want to go back to your old ways. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more self-development and personal finance content. I'm here to help you live a more intentional and empowered life, one step at a time. Don't forget to comment below if you're starting your own cash envelope journey. I'd love to hear how it's going. See you in the next video.